Welcome back everybody to the Thailand Championship. This is going to be the last match of the group stages all in all. 85Leela versus Team NXL in the loser bracket finals. So whoever wins this will be number 2 to advance into the playoffs from Group B. Whereas Team Malaysia were the ones of course getting out first. NXL or 85Leela. Who's it gonna be? It's a best of 1 series, so only one game to decide the fate of both of those teams. We're of course HeflaTV, the English coverage for you for this tournament. And I'm not alone. I am also joined by Mito. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Sorry, just my throat hurting a little bit. But 85Leela, I saw you guys cast it yesterday, and, well, I saw them pick Husker. So I'm definitely gonna be hoping to see him once again. And to name a little bit more about Husker, I actually didn't really appreciate the build they went for. I much prefer, I don't know if you guys have seen the video Slasher's Way. He has a particular style of playing Husker in which he goes 2 Gauntlet and a Ring of Protection to boost up the armor, since it offers 3 armor now. So he starts out with 4 armor, and it's pretty good during the laning phase, because Husker, without it, he starts at 1 armor, which is ridiculously low. And he progresses into an Armlet and Helm of Dominator. And by this time, he can easily solo Roshan. Just buy a smoke, go in and sneak it. And unlike many of the popular heroes that can take Roshan, for example Ursa or Lycan, it's not that obvious. And your timing, it's much harder for opponent teams to grasp. And it's pretty frequent. You can get a 20-minute, well, Satanic. And once you have Satanic and Omelet, you just go in and you're just a one-man wrecking crew. You see anyone, you jump, and there's essentially no stopping.
But is it viable in a competitive environment? Like, in pubs, it's definitely rather easy to get those items as fast, probably, since nobody's focusing you, nobody's probably going to even interrupt you if you're like safe line farming or something. But can it, or it's definitely not going to be as easy, I think, in just a competitive game.
Absolutely, because in professional matches, there's a good mixture of both physical as well as magical damage. So whereas Husker, he's really good against magical damage, but doesn't really recover all that well up against the heavy physical damage. For example, a PA getting a massive crit, oh well, Husker, you're gone. And in professional games, there's always going to be frequent lockdowns, so a BKB might be necessary somewhere along the line. And just the laning phase, look at the laning phase. One-on-one, Razor, he has the upper hand up against Husker. You think of some of the more popular heroes, Death Prophet, he should be faring pretty well against Husker as well. Just anyone with a long, decent range, or just any of the strong laning heroes, even Viper. Viper can deal with Husker easily. So his positioning is going to be somewhat awkward in the game. But if you're up against heroes like, say, Brewmaster, you're going to have a field day. You just spam your spears, and you're going to force the Brewmaster to retreat out of the lane. And this game...
We just got another Meepo ban. Why are they banning the Meepo just... Let somebody play it, guys. Why ban it?
I wonder if they've actually scrimped against each other, and Meepo seems to be a thing. Not too sure, but they do have 85 Leela. They do have some really good team fight potentials, and this is exactly what they went for yesterday, with supporting Wraith King as well as Kunkka, and it works pretty decently. I mean, it's two melee heroes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they coupled it. They they had the final pick in the tri lane was a Viper, so they had a ranged Viper with two pretty good tanky supports. The only downside to this is both heroes have somewhat of a fairly small mana pool at the beginning of the game, so sure they can combo, but after the combo they do need to run up and try to get those right clicks, which may or may not be able to come out since there's already a Earthshaker, and a good Fisher can easily part ways between, say, your teammate and your opponents.
They definitely did go for the same lineup, and I think you were correct in the Viper as well. I definitely remember some team playing an aggressive trilane with Conka breaking in the Viper. Not too sure if it was 85 Leela, but it was definitely on the Radiant side, and 85 Leela, they were also Radiant, so I guess with those facts, it would make sense if it was one on the same team. So there's a potential to see Huskar now. Of course, Death Prophet has a pretty nice amount of physical damage with the crypts from the Exorcism, of course. Earthshaker maybe with that Enchant Totem as well, although a support Earthshaker will have it maxed out really later on in the game usually. So I'm kind of hoping for them to go Huskar, but no, it's a Gyro pick.
Oh wow, so they are definitely switching things up, but they now have massive team fight capabilities. And let us not forget, Kunkka hasn't been on competitive Dota all that much, right? But the Ghost Ship, the RUM itself allows your team to sustain through so much of the team fight. And sure, it's a pretty clunky lineup if you look at it with all these big buff heroes. But we do have the Centaur Warrunner, and as soon as he casts a Stampede, everyone suddenly moves at 522 movement speed. And that's just going to be ridiculously good, whether it's to chase down the opponents or to retreat. And they just have so many ways of starting up a fight now, and it's looking great for them. Whereas Team NXL, they look pretty darn good as well. I mean, you have one of the strongest laning heroes in the game that transitions very well into the mid game and late game. Death Prophet. Once he gets going, he's amazing. I mean, we saw last game how Mineski came back from the game. And towards the end, Death Prophet's ultimate just does so freaking much damage. And these two supports, surprisingly enough, they were the same as the Mineski game. The Skarath Mage plus the Earthshaker, the combination of the two, they can dish out so much magical damage. I mean, they were able to burst down the Anti-Mage real fast, even with the magic resistance. And then the fourth pick, a Bristleback. And Bristleback in this version, I consider him to be one of the better heroes. I mean, with a Crimson Guard, he can just tank up so much, soak up all the incoming damage, and your teammates in the back can easily return fire. Capture?
Okay,
Hello?
so yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I forgot I
I
muted
thought you
myself.
totally disappeared.
But yeah, the Bristleback, he's just so good in this lineup just because he's gonna have the Vicious Nasal Goo, and more minus armor means that Exorcism does even more damage than it usually would. So that's also some synergy between themselves. If they get a good enough early start, they can even just get an easy Roshan, for example, although up against Call Down and Ghost Ship and Centaur just blinking in might not be as easy, but it really depends on how well it's going for them. So I really like actually both teams' lineup so far, I have to say. Although 85 Leela, I'm interested to see how they're gonna lane this. Is this still going to be like Conka Brave King support duo, or is one of them gonna be in the core role instead?
And that's the amazing thing about a lineup like this. They've really found a unique style that caters to their needs. Such as like a Wraith King, he can be a support, he can be a carry. And Kunkka, he can be a support, a carry, a mid solo. Just has so many options. And Gyrocopter, sure, he can be a support. He can be a carry. I mean, he's normally in the carry role, but he is versatile enough to be able to switch around. And Centaur, as much as this hero has been in, say, the offlane position, there are times where people do put him at mid. This doesn't seem like it's going to be one of those games because he's most likely going to be matched up against the Death Prophet. One of the worries, though, is the Centaur matchup against, for example, if Team NXL decides to pick up an aggressive tri-lane hero and they do go for the aggressive, will 85 Leela be able to deal with it? and the Centaur, he's going to be pitted against a Bristleback, and this is a matchup that does not favor the Centaur Warrunner. So it's a lot of. This is why I love drafting, because there's so much mind games going into. Oh my goodness, even more crowd control, even tankier lineups, and 85Leela completes the entire roster with a Magnetar.
I absolutely love this pick, to be honest. Overall, it's a pretty popular pick nowadays, once again. But just a follow-up that they have to the reverse polarity. Hoof Stomp, Torrent, Call Down, Ghost Ship as well, of course. Just a ridiculous amount of AoE lockdown that they can potentially bring out. Just kind of randomly, all of a sudden. Oh god. And NXL, at least Bristleback is going to be tanky, and he's most likely going to be in the front lines anyway, trying to bait out those spells. Whether it's going to be successful is a whole different matter, but NXL, what could they go for now as the last hero here? Oh god, it's... I have to say, I definitely favor 85Leela's lineup at the moment.
I'm actually thinking about an Ember Spirit, but that does leave a little bit of a weaker tri-lane, because you do have two melee heroes and they don't function the same. Okay, so they've decided to go for Clockwork. So this is probably going to be a farming Bristleback. And that's actually good, because Team NXL, mid-game, their lineup is... Not only do they have huge magical bursts during the early game, and Clockwork works very well with Skywrath Mage as well, but the mid-game sustain is amazing as well. Death Prophet turning on the ultimate, turning on the mech, the two supports getting the not Tranquil Boost, Arcane Boots, and a Bristleback with the Crimson Guard. This could be an endless push, an endless just ganking lineup coming out from Team NXL. Whereas 85Leela, it feels like they're just going to burst one time, and that's pretty much it. If they can win the fight, then... that's going to be great for them. But the moment they start losing the fight after throwing out every single spell they have, they're in a pretty worrisome position.
Well, NXL, they definitely, with the lineup that they have, kind of want to take control early of this game and end it before it really gets into the late game. Bristleback, if he's like ridiculously farmed, even he can definitely transition into late game if need be. But usually, with the kind of lineup that NXL has, having a Clockwork as well as just Year of Sacred and Skywrath Mage, they will start falling off at some point, at least a little bit. So, 85Leela, I think just late game dominance should be theirs rather easily.
Yeah, indeed. And here's the funny thing about 85Leela's lineup. Anybody can transition into a late game core hero. For example, Kunkka, if you get really farmed, you get the Blink Dagger, the Battle Fury, play it the attacker style, you get a bunch of Daedalus, and if worse comes to worse, you just buy two Divine Rapiers and you get those 2.3k crits. And Wraith King, we've seen teams such as EG allow him to transition very nicely into the late game as well. Magnetar, sure, he's not played as... he's mostly played as a crowd control, initiator kind, but he does have what it takes to transition late game as well. I mean, the old school way of playing Magnetar was that huge carry deeps Magnetar with Massive Madness. If you want Battle Fury, Battle Fury. If not, then you get the Daedalus and you just top up on damage and you reverse polarity 5 heroes and just get easy Rampage. So there's so much potential in this lineup. It's just, I'm not sure if they will be able to survive through the mid game, because if you look at it, ultimately they need the Blink Daggers. And getting Blink Daggers on these heroes means you're probably going to negate going for items such as Mech, such as Crimson Guard. And this during the mid game can become really crucial. Just having those additional team fight items.
Oh wow, well, at the moment, it's... Oh, just look at where 85Leela are. They're baiting somebody to come out and check the rune and converge on that. One hero or maybe two heroes doesn't really matter for them, since they will be 5 there. But we can fast introduce the lineups anyway. So for 85Leela, Noisy will be playing the Gyrocopter, leaving Ojo Duai on the Wraith King with Mion on the Kanka, as Dome will be the center Warrunner for them, and Porkach will be the last one on the Magnus. Oh, Phoenix!
Right, so...
escape, man! Run for your life! There's the stun with the skewer as well for the slow. Not the best setup maybe with the skewer, but the torrent will connect, and Noisy picks up that easy first blood.
So here we have the first blood, but this does mean that the Clockwork in the off lane, he's gonna have a pretty good time, because he's gonna get the additional levels. The Centaur has to run all the way to the top. So interesting enough, it's not Team NXL that's actually running the aggressive trial lane, but instead 85Leela.
Oh wow, so it's definitely true that Dome will miss some kind of XP on the top side, maybe miss 1 or 2 creeps depending on how good the focus will be. Might even get there just in time, to be honest. But in any case, to introduce the lineup of NXL fast as well, Neza will be on the Clockwork, leaving Spaceman on the Death Prophet, with Phoenix playing the Skyriff Mage, Xepher on the Earthshaker, and the last one will be AMZ on the Bristleback. But in this tri-lane versus tri-lane, yes, there are 2 melee heroes on 85Leela, and even the third one doesn't have too great of a range, to be honest. But is their tri-lane strong enough to face the Skyriff, Earthshaker, and Bristleback?
Not too sure. Right now, Team NXL, after just giving away the first blood, are playing really defensively. Just staying out of range, staying out of trouble. But, okay, so 85Leela decided it's going to be a support gyrocopter. And it's going to be a farming Wraith King. Everything seems to be working out for them. And I just wanted to think a little bit, like, did they decide on who's going to be the carry to begin with? And then I quickly checked the items. Indeed, it was supposed to be a Wraith King. But it would have been funny, right? Like, if they just play the game and say, hey, we'll decide on who's going to be the carry depending on who farms better.
Yesterday, we had the game that almost went like that. Just an aggressive tri-lane where even a Treant Protector was getting some farm, and just Vengeful Spirit plus Silencer, I think it was the third one on that tri-lane. Literally all of them went for the last hits early on, and just they even left the Treant Protector there while Silencer and Vengeful went rotating, and it was really crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this is 85Leela. They do have the kind of lineup that can say, hey, we can just shift around. Oh, there's going to be engagement.
Oh, damn it, bottom lane. The torrent does connect onto actually 2 heroes. Phoenix should go down, I think. Rocket Barrage. Is he gonna get close enough? Never mind, Noisy. He's on the run all of a sudden. Quill Spray is doing a crazy amount of damage if they start stacking up. They can follow up at top lane in the meantime. They did get the Invis Magnetor just sneaking up under the Clockwork. Probably got the skewer under the tower and just followed up with the kill.
Wow, so much action happening all around the map. And here's a Fissure that's gonna block Noisy a little bit, forcing him to walk around the long way behind the tier 1 and tier 2 tower. Down at bottom, the tri-lanes, they're changing blows, but that so far neither team has been able to yield any fruits out of it.
It might be a little while more till we're gonna see the first plat come out on this bottom side, although the slow one to Ojo Duai, are they gonna really go for it? I guess they might as well. Quill Spray starts spamming out. Oh, the Fissure block, it's absolutely perfect. They're going for the stun out of Xepher. There's the torrent to follow up. Actually connects on 2 heroes as well. Can they get Xepher? I think they can. Dome. Even he comes in on the center. He has the Tranquil Boots, so he's pretty speedy. Might get Phoenix if he gets the Hoof Stomp. Can he get the Hoof Stomp? Oh, yes he can. Double Edge. Should be enough, although it's only level 2. Oh, actually. Magic Stick saves his life, and Dome suddenly he's gonna get slowed down. And he's on the run. Mion doesn't even throw the torrent yet. He's just gonna keep on to his mana.
This is hilarious. I don't really know what to say. Like, it feels like Team NXL, they're trying to dish out the deeps and they are doing tons of damage, but just the nature of the innate tankiness of Wraith King and Kunkka, just being able to stand in the front and soak up most of it anyways, ends up just letting the trade favor 85Leela.
Well, it's, I think, safe to say that Centaur is losing his lane because he's pretty much not even on the lane. He's only level 4, while in the meantime Clockwork, yes, he died once thanks to the Magnus rotating in nicely, but he's still level 5.5, 23 last hits compared to Dome's 5. And also in the mid lane, the Magnus also went for those early rotations, but he's, thanks to that, 11.5 behind as well. Spaceman about to hit level 6, 29 and 10 compared to a 7-0 Magnus.
And right now, down at bottom, Team NXL, they do realize the 2 supports from 85Leela are missing, and the pings are coming out. Bottom, they're initiating, but at the same time, mid is initiating as well. I mean, the Wraith King does go down, and let's see what's happening at mid. No, it's just going to be a rocket. So, the gank mid fails, and NXL capitalize on that. It's like, you're going to rotate your supports around, great. We're going to initiate on your core carry.
To be honest, I really dislike the kind of playstyle when you're focusing on the early kills, which they're not getting a crazy amount of, to be honest, 85Leela, considering they got the first plat.
Oh, top lane!
Oh, man.
Oh, that's an easy kill for Neza. He didn't even have to use the hook shot. Just walks close enough, uses Centaur's greed. It's like he wants to get some last hits and gets baited. And then just the battery assault was enough to kill the Centaur Warrunner.
Oh, and bottom lane, they got the torrent to connect onto AMC. Bristleback got a little bit too antsy. Probably X marks the spot was also involved. catching him under the tower, so 4-2. But what I wanted to aim at before is that 85Leela, they've been kind of focusing on the kills, the centaur roaming around early, for, to be honest, no apparent reason for me. Magnus doing the same, pretty much trying to set up kills. But you're not getting levels, you're not getting any proper farm. They just might get overrun in the early to mid game because they did go for a rather greedy lineup. And with them just not being able to farm properly, I'm not too sure where it's gonna end up, especially since Noisy on the Gyrocopter is a support anyway. So that really even limits their late game potential, at least. It's definitely gonna be delayed just because of, yes, Gyrocopter can transition into a semi-carry or carry, but since he starts as a support, it's just gonna take that much longer.
Yep, and right now, mid lane, the Magnetar wants to make good use of this Invis Room, but it's actually somewhat dangerous because he's really low, and just a Crypt Swarm and a couple of right clicks with the phase boots from Spaceman could mean the death of this Magnetar. He's gonna go for it, and he skewers him right back. Gets torrented. Oh my goodness, like we predicted, he dies first. The Magnetar just can't do anything. Too easy. And now we have a rocket following Spaceman. Mion and Noisy are starting to chase, and Spaceman turns on his ultimate, turns around. He might be able to take down Mion before he dies, and indeed he does. Right now, Noisy. Oh, he's on a pretty good roll, but seriously, 2 kills given away for 1 death profit, not quite worth it.
Definitely not, especially considering that on the top side they got another kill onto the centaur as well. This time around, the Scarf Mage was also involved, but I think Clockwork should have been able to get it solo as well if it really came down to that. Still has the hookshot. Once again, didn't even need to use it. So, NXL, they're off to a pretty good start. AMZ getting a reasonable amount of farm on the bottom side as well. Is one last hit ahead of the Brave King even. And to be honest, the Gyrocopter, he's on a killing spree. 3, 0, and 1. But I think it's actually bad for 85Leela to have all the kills on the support. Just because, well, he's most likely gonna die at some point anyway, and he's just gonna feed away his spree then.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
And
X marks the spot, mid lane, Torrent will not actually it does connect, but oh god. Magnus once again hanging around with such low HP, and Spaceman just got the kill before the reverse polarity skewer even
Top
came
lane,
out.
top lane. They want to make a go on Dome, but Dome turns to Stampede and he's running around. Supports come in. The Wraith King gets silenced up. He's already level 6 though. He's going to continue chasing the Clockwork. His mana is really low. Gets a stun on. Where's the supports? Where's the rest of the rotations? The rocket is being charged, but the Wraith King himself might just die beforehand. Let's see what's happening now. Naya, he's getting body blocked by Mion and a beautiful cog. Well, they do secure the kill on the Clockwork. And in the back, oh man, who's getting skewered back? Spaceman. He gets skewered back into the tower, eats a reverse polarity. Oh, is he going to be able to turn around and try to go for a kill instead? Oh, he's moving really fast, but no. The double edge from Dome secures the kill once again.
Safe to say that a really good turn of events for 85Leela, and I think pretty important is also that they didn't even lose the Brave King's reincarnation. He survived with, I think it was 34 HP. And that reincarnation is a 260-second cooldown on the first level. So I really would have liked to see Clockwork just go for maybe even a hookshot into the Wraith King, to be honest, or hookshot into the Kanka as he was coming from the high ground. Anything, like, just pop the reincarnation. Your hookshot isn't that long of a cooldown for you to hold it anyway if you're gonna die 100%. So I think NXL did a small misplay there, and also 85Leela being able to kill off the Death Prophet. Pretty damn good for them still though. Last hits just looking miserable for all 3 of their cores.
And this constant battle of trades, in my opinion, favors 85Leela because Team NXL, they're the ones that's being pressured on a timer. They need to get the core items. They need to get the Vanguard or the Crimson Guard on the Bristleback, and they need to get some items on Spaceman so that they can begin their push. And while it's being delayed, 85Leela, their late game potential, I mean, it's scary to even look at, and you really don't want to get to the point where all 5 of the heroes on 85Leela are getting good farm. Our top lane, let's look at what's happening. Noisy, he gets hooked, and he's gonna eat a lot of damage from Nasa, but Stampede might just be able to save his life, and Nasa himself is in a lot of trouble, and then they're gonna leave the last right click to nobody. The Wraith King tried to go for the last hit, but it just wasn't there on time.
And Dome, the hoof stomp, it doesn't connect onto Phoenix. There's the concussive shot coming out. The slow is there. Sportcoach can't quite finish out the kill. And Dome, oh, the Fisher actually blocks him in. Oh, should be an easy kill, or is it skewered? Oh my god. Are you kidding me, Magnus? He got the perfect length of it. Got Spaceman to the high ground. Another Crypt Swarm though will clear off 1 hero. The Ghost Ship is coming, not gonna connect on any heroes. at least gonna apply the ram onto Portkite, so he's gonna survive, I think. Another Fisher, another Creep Storm comes out as well. Portkite still somehow alive, bottling up in between the right clicks of the Death Prophet. Oh my god, 1 HP, he actually survives this. Unfortunately,
It's a ram.
not gonna be as lucky, or Spaceman. One more Creep Swarm, he's gonna get the right angle, I think.
Oh, that was so close. But ultimately, the Magnetar survives the day and gets home safely. But a couple of teammates has died. But that was a 6 skewer to get Death Prophet on the high ground.
It definitely was. I really thought like it's just gonna go in and reverse polarity or something, just kind of hopelessly tried to do something. But it was spot on. It's definitely not the easiest thing to do it like that, I think. And it must have been like the max skewer range anyway, since skewer is level 2.
Oh, that was pretty cool. I mean, that was one great fight that we just witnessed. And once again, the Gyrocopter, he's just being a nuisance with the constant spam of these rockets.
I love the rockets, man. They're just so strong.
Yeah, and you really don't want to be backing out from the rocket. You want to eat it face up. Otherwise, you're just going to take a lot of damage. I mean, this patch, the damage got scaled up once again. So if you eat the full damage, it's actually 500 damage nuke.
Just look at the graphs at the moment. Already a 4k net worth lead for Team NXL. XP slowly rising as well towards 2500 or so. Kill score, it's 8-8, so it's pretty even, but still 85Leela, they aren't getting any farm. Yes, they're getting some kills, but NXL, they're getting just as many. And NXL, they can start tower pushing, for example, with another Exorcism, which is level 2 already. Spaceman, yes, he's level 11, 12 minutes in.
Wow, that's attributed to the amount of kills he's gotten. And if we look at it, his jungle, he has some stacks going as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Earthshaker in his position to start stacking some Ancients for the Bristleback to take later on. But no, it seems like it's a rotation top. They want to get things going.
To be honest, I think NXL should wait a little bit, get the mech finished on AMC, which is only about 150 gold away, and then go on the aggressive. Because with the mech, you can just dive that much more efficiently without really having to be afraid of for your own life. So I would like to see the mech come out first and then go, but they have smoked up. I guess for those small 1-pick rotations, you can still do it as early as you want, just from level 1 really. Kinda smoke, catch Magnus though.
Wow, this, I guess we'll have to look forward to it. Clockwork pick is actually really good against Magnetar. It was traditionally used as a counter to Magnetar because your rocket can just easily screw up the Blink Dagger from Magnus. As well as if you just hook the Magnetar who's in the backlines waiting for the perfect timing, it screws up everything. It forces him to use his skills prematurely.
Oh, you'll scepter onto the Magnus. Do they have the follow-up? The silence a little bit too late. The Stampede comes out as well for Portkite. I think he's gonna be safe. They might find Mion though. X-Marks spot Torrent catches to Dome with the double edge. No, the Fisher blocks the double edge. Spaceman is still alive somehow. Another silence onto the center tower already went down. Creeps helping out with that a little bit. Dome. He's dropping low but somehow still alive, as is Spaceman, but the Ghost. They finish up the Magnus, who got a little bit too eager to go in for the kill. Now, they're gonna get the slow with the Fisher block onto the Brave King as well. He has the Reincarnation though. Nice dodge of the stun from Spaceman. Suddenly back to full HP with the Ghost returning and the mech from AMZ. They get the Reincarnation to pop. 1 for 0 so far. Probably gonna be 2 for 0. Although NXL, or Neza rather, he got stunned up by a nice Fairy Fire Blast. Another Fisher Noisy. Gonna get hookshotted. Power Cogs pushing back the Wraith King. And it's gonna be a 3 for 0 plus a tower.
Oh man, this is exactly what I was afraid of. Those team items coming out from Team NXL. And all they do is just group up and begin to push. With the power of the Death Prophet's ultimate, as well as just the tankability of the heroes with the Clockwork, as well as the Bristleback standing in the front lines. And we witnessed so many beautiful fissures coming out from this Earthshaker. So it's been really impressive.
Oh, I really like what Spaceman did at the moment as well. They got the Torrent, X-Mark Torrent combination to connect onto Clockwork, but the Yule Scepter went onto the Magnus, so just to guarantee that there's no reverse polarity skewer. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we've seen a single reverse polarity this game.
Oh, we have at top. You know when the Death Prophet was diving the tower, and it gets skewered back by the Magnetar.
Okay, that didn't feel like a reverse polarity to me. It's just like one man stun. It's like So I guess we've seen one, but it ended up in getting the kill onto the Death Prophet as well, I do believe. So wasn't bad by any means, but in just those full-blown 5-on-5 team fights, you need to get the reverse polarity. Even if it's on like one hero, getting one kill is still better than getting none.
Indeed. And they need the Blink Daggers to come out from two crucial heroes, Dome as well as the Magnetar. Once they get the Blink Daggers, they might, like, I'm saying this with a lot of hesitation, because right now it does feel like Team NXL have a much better upper hand. But with two Blink Daggers, they might just be able to find some ganks, some pickoffs, which they desperately need at this point.
To me, they need a lot of pickoffs, to be honest. Just look at their profit, 8k net worth and 85Leela. Well, Brave King the highest, 3.9. The profit is literally doubling the highest on 85.
Holy cow, that's more than doubling. Oh dear good. Dear god, dear god. How are they gonna come back from this? But don't forget, 6.82, right? The version of rubber banding and comebacks.
But the comebacks have been just reduced with the mini patches coming out afterwards as well. I guess it's definitely gonna be beneficial for 85Leela. But them having 4 melee heroes, their only ranged hero is a support. And they don't have the Blink Daggers on neither the Centaur nor the Magnus yet. It's just defending is going to be so hard for them. They're gonna have to rely on maybe Stampede into reverse polarity or just Skewer into reverse polarity, which isn't reliable by any means.
Yeah, but just imagine the potential of the full combo if they land it. Oh no, right now.
Dope. He gets the Stampede before the silent. Hookshot misses well. There's the cooldown. Connects on 4 enemy heroes. Slows down everybody of them. Go ship. Will clip. Phoenix is behind. And oh, nice hoof stomp. Catches basement. There's the Skewer reverse polarity. Not coming out yet. The stun. The Echo Slam. They're going to go for port catch. Another Crypt Swarm comes through. And the Exorcism just deals out the damage as wow, noisy. He escaped with like 5 HP. So, one hero only died. Not too bad for 85Leela, to be honest, but Magnus, what was his plan? Did he want to go for the reverse polarity or not? But never mind, they're not done yet. Another stun onto Spaceman, but he is so damn healthy. Nice coax onto Brave King as well. His reincarnation still on cooldown. They kill off the Centaur. Can they get the courier as well? Oh yes, they can. Even the courier died. Brave King, he got his plate mail, so he's gonna stay alive for a little while longer. Spaceman gonna get stunned up eventually by the homing himself reverse polarity. Catches 2 finally. Actually, it was even 3, even better. But Noisy will lose his life. I think one more quill spray, not even necessary. Neza gets the kill, but AMC, he's completely drained out of mana. Can't go for anything, and Brave King, he actually does not die the second time, or at least I think he's gonna survive. Torrent not gonna connect on anybody. It's just so scrappy, this fight in NXL though. They're finally gonna get chased down, or are they? The hook shot! Oh god, Bristleback run for her life. Clockwork, he just created the space. Cogs, oh man, Kanka. He's gonna get Neza, never mind, he's not Skewer. They get AMC finally as Neza, gonna get X marked and Shockwave to death. So in the end, it's a team wipe.
Wow, I'm kind of speechless at just how lengthy that fight was. It was constantly, it felt like 85Leela under the tier 1 tower, like between the tier 1 and tier 2. They threw down the cooldown, they threw down the ship. Sure, those ultimates have some fairly low cooldowns, but they whiffed everything. And that allowed Team NXL to just keep grinding out, keep pushing, forcing the fights. But they overextended, and towards the end, they end up losing a lot of heroes.
The funniest thing is that it was a 5 versus 4 because the Centaur and the Magnus, they both bought back. But they still both have the Blink Daggers, and oh, the Blink Hoof Stomp catches Spaceman as well. He still has the Yule Scepter. Can he dodge something? He's waiting for the Brave Fire Blast. I think the Stampede, it's still not enough to get the slow on him. The Centaur, I think he maybe ran a little bit to the wrong direction. There's the hookshot with the Yule Scepter though. Maybe the timing not the most perfect one, but the silence will be there. And Dome will lose his life. Exorcism comes out as well. They want to keep on fighting the torrent onto 2. Ghost Ship, will it connect? Yes, AMC gets caught. The cooldown to follow, catches 2 as well. They're gonna get the reincarnation out of the Brave King. As Spaceman gonna just zone out everybody else. Mystic Player waiting for the Brave King. He just stays around there, but Skewer back onto Spaceman. The tower, never mind, tower is down already. As Porkatch gonna lose his life. Makes Spaceman a little bit healthier, a little more prone to dive further, and they're gonna lose Mion. So suddenly a 4-for-0 exchange. Just 85Leela, they got that one good fight, and it all got turned around.
Yeah, 85Leela, without the Blink Daggers, they just can't properly initiate. And wow, just looking at it, Magnetar actually has a Blink Dagger. So did he get it before the fight or after he died?
He got it before it. He finished it just after that previous fight. So he had the Blink Dagger. Reverse polarity wasn't cooldown, I still think, at the start of the fight. Although they just should have left the center there to die and back off.
Well, that's rather disappointing. Like, they needed him to start out a beautiful initiation. Either that or they should have let the Wraith King bait out the first death and slow everyone.
Another cooldown is there, Spaceman. He's not gonna get caught, but IMZ Torrent and stand up under the tower. He's pretty tanky, but Ghost Ship with the double edge. They're gonna clean him up anyway. 1-for-1 trade. Spaceman BKB is there. Skewer thanks to the BKB completely missed, but there's the reverse polarity. Spaceman is solo. Blink Echo Dog Zephyr turns it all around. They lose the Death Prophet, but look at how low Dome is. As is Ojo. They still escape. Holy crap! This Echo Slam could have been so huge, but two heroes escape with like 10 HP, even less.
Oh, Rocket's on cooldown right now. Come on, one more second. Alright, let's get it going. It's probably not going to kill Dome, but it will be fun to see. Alright, so Dome is waiting for the rocket. It's on its way.
Oh, he got to the base.
It's just a feel-good rocket, really.
Oh, wow.
Boom.
This fight
Well, once
was
again.
pretty sick, and I think Death Prophet as well as NXL overall, they definitely overextended. I mean, Death Prophet, he had like, what, 150 HP something, and with his BKB, it was like, yeah, YOLO, I'll dive tier 2s, no problem.
Both sides just feel like they're lacking the patience. NXL win a good trade, but continues to force up different fights. Whereas 85Leela, they should have waited for the initiators to really go in before trying to blindly throw out those ships and cooldowns. I mean, those are great follow-up skills if you can land them, but half the time, they only land on one hero or like perhaps nobody. And when you have a Centaur and you have Magnetar as well as a Wraith King who can use his death to bait out some kind of a slow, AoE slow, you should really use that to your advantage. Be patient and just sell the Wraith King, you know. He's there to soak up the damage. And to go for the Wraith King, they do have to be a lot closer than they potentially should have been. I mean, right now, the scary thing is 85Leela, they're on the back foot, but they have an amazing high ground defense lineup.
They most certainly do. I mean, just cooldown, Ghost Ship, reverse polarity. So scary to go up against that. At least they have a Death Prophet on the side of NXL, which definitely will make it a little bit easier, with a PKB as well on top of that. So he can just kind of slow siege. Exorcism, a pretty long cooldown nowadays. But that's probably what they're going to have to do, although high ground, it's still some time away since all the tier 2s are still standing.
Yeah, high ground as far as it is. Let's actually be interesting, right? Have you looked at the golden XP graph? We haven't done that in a while.
Oh, I've been showing them every now and then, but
Ah, okay.
just after the big fights, I'm like, oh, how big is the change actually? Because it's like fight recap, like 6k swing or something. But in fact, not all that bad. Still a 10k solid net worth lead for NXL. XP around 6,000 as well. Did drop actually pretty drastically after that one team wipe. Although they got it all back with that 1-0 for 4 exchange in return. Now though, there's a smoke. They're torrenting up the high ground. It's funny to me that they torrent and check for vision on this hill here after the smoke.
Yeah, just team coordination slightly lacking. And another thing about their lineup is they don't really dare to stack Ancients or the whatnot because Team NXL, they can clear it easily with the Bristleback.
Speaking of Bristleback, he's going for a PKB of his own as well. Definitely a good choice. There's just so much magic damage coming out from 85Leela, so much lockdown to prevent you from getting to the right positioning. And Death Prophet still keeps on farming like a madman. 12,000 net worth, surpassing even his own teammates by 4,000. But 85Leela, the most important thing, they're hanging on, and if they can just drag this on long enough, they have a pretty solid chance still. Of course, they cannot be completely losing and just hanging on. They need to get some farm or resemblance of farm themselves. But so far, it's not looking as bad as it started out to be.
Indeed, indeed. Right now, once again, the pace have always slowed down around this time of the game. Teams are just waiting, trying to farm the next set of items. The team that's losing right now, 85Leela, are just trying to find some space or create some space of their own. Whereas Team NXL, they're just trying to complete the next set of items and then go for those big fights. But these timing can mean the world to both teams. Team NXL, if they drag too long, allow 85Leela to catch up and farm, that's going to be dangerous. Whereas if they push too fast and give space for 85Leela to win a fight, that can potentially be even worse. Whereas 85Leela, they have to be so cautious when they're farming right now because they're not fully aware of where is everyone on the side of Team NXL. Right now, they can see the Bristleback in front just farming away, and they're probably aware that the Clockwork is in a similar position because he just used his rocket, but they have no idea where's the rest. They could be ganking top, so look at the Centaur. He's just lingering around the tower, doesn't really dare to walk up the farm.
It's really a sad life if you're behind because you can't go without vision, and they have some sentries down in their own jungle. I guess their vision isn't all that bad, but it's mostly down, it's just focused on the bottom side of the map around the Roche area. And Clockwork, he has an Aghanim Scepter as well, plus a Haste Rune bottled up. He's just gonna go berserk. They get an easy tower, no contention whatsoever from 85Leela. Can they turn this into something more though from NXL? Mid tier 2 is pretty low as well. They're just gonna farm up the enemy Ancients.
Oh man, I thought maybe they might even consider the Roshan and make full use of Death Prophet's ultimate, but it's coming to an end, so they're just gonna stick to their paths and head towards mid. Oh wow, like you said, the mid tier 2 tower is almost down. Surprised it hasn't been denied. And the glyph is used. Oh, here comes the smoke gank.
On,
they don't
Blink,
know.
reverse parry, Blink, hoof stomp the catch basement. They go for the AMC in the meantime. More catch, he's gonna come in, but he's silenced now. The ghost ship is there, gonna connect, and at least 2 heroes to silence. Still there, Mystic Player comes up as well. He needs to get the reverse priority. Cox, they push him back. Hookshot comes in from Neza, and once again, no reverse priority to come out. He buys back though. They want to keep on fighting Zephyr. Gonna get thrown up in the air before the Fisher lands. Can they just lock him down? Spaceman gonna get reverse priority only onto 1 man. But at least they get that 1 kill. Brave King wants to chase people down. Shockwave helps out a little bit as well. Torrent will connect onto Neza. He has another hookshot in 4 seconds. Will he be able to get it though as AMC? He's gonna run away. Or is he? Blink? Never mind, I think he's far enough. Oh, nope, never mind. Brave for Blast. It connects. They need a little bit more Shockwave. Anything? Yep, Blink. What was that Blink Shockwave? I still think they're gonna get the Brave for Blast to get the kill. Oh no, he's gonna burn down. Burn. Yes, he is. Hookshot. They're gonna get port catch skewer, not gonna help out enough. But that Blink Shockwave, man.
Oh dear god. If he had secured the Shockwave earlier, then he might have just been able to escape from the Clockwork. And here comes another hook. He hooks onto a Wraith King, but well, the supports are coming way too late. And wow, so ultimately 85Leela managed to hold off the push with a pretty good buyback from the Magnetar, ensuring that they will end up winning the fight. And Team NXL, I'm pretty sure that was a buyback as well, right? On the side of, say, the Clockwork.
Clockwork with an Aghanim Scepter is scary. Of course he had to buy back, and looking at the graphs now, slowly dipping down towards the side of 85Leela. Or not even that slowly to be honest, but it's still a solid lead, at least for net worth. And Neza, he's at the point where he's gonna use the hookshot to farm creeps. Hookshot plus a rocket flare, creep wave gone. But you can do that, I mean, the cooldown is just so low.
Yeah, I mean, just maximizing your time. Why not? Just get some farm, rotate away, trying to find a pickoff. And if you can't find anyone, go back to farming. Team NXL, they should be in a bit of a dilemma. Do they really want to keep up the push? Look at it, the tier 2 tower still stands. That was an amazing fight, partially due to the fact that the Wraith King did not reveal his Blink Dagger earlier. At least, that's what I think it was. And the smoke just walking in, initiating the fight, taking Team NXL by surprise. Caught them off guard, then just had things swing their way. But we saw the power of the Yule Scepter. You want to land the ship, you want to land the cooldown, they're not going to happen because of it.
It's really hard for 85Leela to get it proper, especially since they didn't get the nice reverse priority once again. After the Magnus buyback, he only got it onto the Death Prophet as well, who, of course, didn't have Exorcism. That's also a huge point to make. Why 85Leela actually got the fight as well as they did. Exorcism had just expired when that fight happened. So next time around, probably not to be the case, plus Exorcism it's level 3 as well. And there's a Heart of Tarrasque on the Death Prophet now. I'm still looking, all eyes on the Magnus. When is he gonna get that reverse bar to actually start the fight?
Oh, I was about to say, we're gonna be seeing a pretty hardcore push from Team NXL if they had held on to the Death Prophet's ultimate Exorcism right now. But it's already used. They didn't save it for the tier 3 tower, which I felt they should have. And well, they're just gonna harass Spaceman a little bit. But with the Heart of Tarrasque, it doesn't really mean all that much.
But they're still gonna go for the hoof stomp, is there Stampede, call down. They're using just so much to do nothing to a Death Prophet. He's gonna have the heart. Gonna reach him up. Well, doesn't even hit the heart because the spirits are returning to him. They might get AMZ. Not a good target to go for either report catch. Gonna get thrown up in the air by the evil scepter. There's just disabling. There's the hookshot. Catching too with the mystic flare to follow. Oh god, this Magna. He's gonna go down again. And he doesn't have buyback center. He uses his, but he doesn't have the stampede anymore. They're gonna get the Brave King, I think. Never mind. A nice hoof stomp catch is free. The ghost ship to follow on to 2 as well. Nasa. Homing missile. Just such an immediate lockdown. But Blink, Echo Slam. Catches free, Fisher to follow on to free with the aftershock as well. They're dropping all solo, but can they get the kills? Brave King still has his first life, finally gonna slow everybody down. Blink, hoof stop onto 2 again, Torrent will follow. They get Spaceman, maybe even AMC if Ojo has enough damage. Brave King though, gonna get stunned together with Neon. AMZ, are they gonna chase him up? He definitely wanted to go for it, had to back off. And Brave King, I think he's gonna get kited. Oh, he gets the blink out. But in the end, was it really a... I think it was a 4-4-2 with a buyback on Centaur.
I mean, these heroes are all way too tanky. That's why you have these amazing, long, drawn-out fights. But I've always felt the Magnetar could have played a little bit better. It feels like he's been hesitating, trying to wait for the perfect opportunity. Where when he had a chance when Centaur used the Stampede, he could have blinked out and skewered the Death Prophet back into their base, and they could have just focused fire on the Death Prophet, instantly removing him from the fight, and that would force Team NXL to either dive really deep past Tier 3 tower, or force them to retreat. And anytime Team NXL are forced to retreat, and your hero, 85Leela's heroes are alive, that's very beneficial for 85Leela. They can just go back into farming mode. And farming mode is exactly what they would love to see.
Oh god, so looking at the graphs now after the fights as well, this one actually slightly favored NXL, at least in some form it is. Although, looking at the graphs, they are still dropping down. A 12,000 net worth lead, I mean, I guess I say dropping down, but 12,000 is still pretty huge for an NXL XP. It's been hovering around the 5k mark for a pretty long time, down to 4,000 at the moment. So 85Leela, as long as they just keep on hanging onto their high ground, they're just gonna get more and more farm and a higher chance of comeback. And to be honest, just one big reverse polarity might just win them the fight straight out if they can combo all of their abilities properly. And they've been kind of like breaking even or slightly losing the fights without the reverse polarity even.
Yeah, indeed. Oh man, so now here's an attempt on Roshan from Team NXL, but 85Leela, they're congregating around the place. Oh, they come in way too late. And now the Wraith King is in potentially a little bit of a trouble, but 4 staffs out of trouble. Oh, so nothing happens apart from a Roche kill.
That's teamwork, man. Getting the 4 staff out. He wasn't all that late, although even if he had gotten the timing correctly, I think he still would have been just disrupted by something. I mean, the Evil Scepter came out pretty fast from the Death Prophet, to be honest.
Well, that sucked. How funny would it be, right, if you get healed, and then like it would just spin you to a random direction instead of the direction you were originally facing or whatnot. So it's like you're playing roulette, spinning.
You're just gonna have to have faith in Brave King's ability to turn in the right direction as the 4 staff came out.
Oh man.
Would have been so sick if the 4 staff from Kanka would have just pushed him even further. It's like, yeah, go into the enemy team, you fucker. You couldn't get the timing right with the blink. You deserve to die.
that would be pretty hilarious.
Ultimately, with the way this Kanka is dressed, he might be just a baller enough to do that.
Yeah, he does look like a baller with one of those.
He's like the big pimp, and Brave King is his bitch and didn't do what he said.
Oh, so this game has turned into some pimpage. Okay, so they're lagging on land. That really sucks. Well, everybody knows the C server hasn't been all that stable as of late, and the maintenance are finally coming at end of. Okay, fine. The C server has always been somewhat crappy, at least for me. Always constantly getting the red letters, cannot watch tournaments unless I'm actually inside the game, like I am right now inside the lobby with you. Dota TV just hasn't been functioning all that well. Sure, if anyone has similar problems, there's a console command that does help significantly, and that's a net_max routable space 576. You can try that at home, and hopefully it will make the game smoother for you. And the good thing about all the DDoS that came out of this year, right, is that finally we get implementation that you can host tournament games in LAN lobbies. You know, you can actually physically create a lobby, and all of the computers are linked to the main computer, so that you won't get DDoS from like all these weird places. As well as like if you're playing from a region that suffers from a lot of lag and delay, you can be like, yeah, I can just create a game for me and all of my friends to come in and have fun. I'm not saying DDoS is good, but I'm saying it's because of the DDoS that we can actually create lobbies, local lobbies for tournaments.
The only
Even though if the
downside
if
of
the
it is that it won't be in Dota TV then, if you're just going
no,
for
it
local
will
lobbies.
be. They actually fixed it so that it will actually be on Dota TV.
Oh, will it?
Yeah,
Didn't they just have some, or did they fix it within the past like week or two or something?
I think it's a little bit more than that.
Or
It
what was it
was
when with WCA? I'm pretty sure they had to go
no,
for local lobbies there, and
it was after ESL.
oh yeah, so it's wasn't it a couple of weeks ago, or has it been longer already?
Yeah,
Oh,
so I
it was
mean,
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago weekend.
yeah,
So
but pretty much since ESL.
okay, so man, good fix, best fix, I would have to say even. Unfortunately, this game doesn't have a Dota TV ticket anyway, so if they were to choose to start it with from a local lobby, then we would be just shut out. I guess we could still just pop out, open the official stream and cast from there, just mute it. If it really comes down to that.
Oh man, that blows. Let's see. Let's see what's happening now. This game, the more it drags, and this is partially the reason why professional players, they really don't enjoy this patch as much, because it feels like all the hard work and dedication you go into the early game to secure the lead ends up just really falling apart in the late game, where like a team much weaker than yours can have the potential to bounce back. And sure, it's been this rubber banding has been nerfed since the beginning of the patch, but ultimately it still does affect a little bit. But I mean, it's good for the viewers as well as for casters. Games are much more exciting than those 15-minute death push. All right,
Well,
let's go five
sometimes
man.
they are way less exciting just because one team doesn't want to take the chance of getting the rubber band effect. So I think it's kind of like it goes two ways. Sometimes it can be a little bit more exciting, but then again, it can just be a farm fest just because nobody dares give up their lead or anything.
Yeah, it's a
And
double-edged sword.
but I have to say, this game, it feels like it's gone on for so long. I think game number one, I mean, Eski versus Myth was way longer just because it had more long pauses. But somehow, it's only the second game I'm casting, but I feel so drained already.
Oh, Bladder Gaming. That's what you've been getting since 6.82. And now we have a 4-man or 5-man smoke gang coming out from 85Leela. They're going to be able to
Oh,
start.
give me reverse polarity, give me anything! Come on, guys.
Oh, the
go.
rocket.
There's the hookshot. One dome. He's gonna get caught. He can't get out of there. Goes for the hoof stomp. The silence, never mind. He can't even get the hoof stomp off. As Ojo, he tried to go for the UF shaker. Stop his initiation or counter initiation for that matter. Stampede finally comes out. Can't they catch anybody though? Come on, guys, please. Noisy. He's the only one chasing people as Porkach. He's on the back lines. Can't do anything, and Noisy. Oh, what a surprise. He actually got caught running in solo like that. And now they're going to chase down Brave King as well. With his BKB, all good and well, but there's still the exorcism ticking him down. He has the reincarnation as well. So he's going to come back to life, but he's going to be solo.
Oh, and the Magnetar, look at how far he has ran from the team fight. He's all the way over here, and yet he dies. And now there's a buyback from a Gyrocopter and a second life on the Wraith King. So the fights, the struggle is going to continue, but Team NXL seems like they're ready to start pushing. They're going to start chipping away at this tier 3. No, they're going to go for Noisy. Noisy, he's dropping about halfway right now. AMZ is just continue chasing him. And it's a quick and easy kill for Spaceman. They're going to continue going on the Wraith King. He still has 30 seconds before he has reincarnation. Oh man, these two are moving way too fast. They're going to be smashing that Wraith King. And that was a quick and...
G. I mean, I guess they can still try to hang on, but 70 seconds. Brave King, he won't have buyback for 70 seconds. Unless they go and destroy like 3 towers at the moment or something. He's not gonna have the gold necessary for it. So 1 Rax for sure is gonna fall here. Maybe even 2 if they want to keep on going. They still have the Aegis on AMC after all. And the Characopter he bought back. Couldn't get the cooldown off to slow down the push or anything. And, well, maybe Magnus, come on! Show us the reverse polarity! You can do it!
But there's not enough follow-up damage right now without the entire team. The
Go
damage
ship.
is spread very evenly.
Oh no! The skewer! It could have been so good, but he used the torrent. Actually still connects Hooftop onto 2. Go ship to follow reverse polarity. Is it gonna be enough? I highly doubt it. It's just not. Echo Slam is gonna be there. Cooldown did a pretty nice amount of damage as well. 85Leela. They proved to be pretty damn tanky themselves as well. AMC, he just wants to lose his Aegis at this point really before it just expires. Nice 4-step from Mion in the end. He does fall and just this game 85Leela, they had a pretty solid chance, but that one fight with the Rax going down crippled them so hard.
Yeah, the push shouldn't be over though. Death Prophet has his ultimate once again. AMZ, well, okay, he doesn't want to expend. Maybe they felt they've overextended too many times, so they're gonna play it safe.
Just look at the freaking graphs. It's like, oh, it's like, BAM!
Well, I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, when a dude sees a hot girl, that's all you end up getting, right? This kind of graph.
Well, I was definitely not thinking that, but oh, your mind, man. You have such a male mind.
Okay, I'm
Great.
sorry. Maybe you shouldn't have said that. But this game, it does seem like it's out of control for 85Leela at this stage. They have just not...
85Leela, I just still can't believe the graphs. They managed to kind of keep it even for a pretty long time and not fall in any further into the hole. Suddenly just like from 5,000 XP to 20,000, it's like things escalated pretty quickly.
Oh man. So now, when is the next push coming? That's why I'm wondering. And
They
there's
have
Kunkka.
the exorcism, I think just go. Everybody has
Kunkka.
enough mana, but there's a pipe on Centaur. Maybe gonna help out a little bit. Although exorcism, physical, quill sprays, physical. Yes, you're gonna maybe mitigate some of the Echo Slam or Mystic Flare, but I think it's going to have little impact.
Would have Vlad's helped out 85Leela a bit more? That got me thinking, because what's really eating them away is this Death Prophet ultimate, and just stacking up on armor. I mean, it is physical damage after all.
Oh, they're gonna go for the fight. Hoof stomp onto Spaceman. There's no follow-up though. Hookshot onto Dome as well. Neza, he's been playing so damn well at the moment. They're gonna just chase people down Porkage. With the Stampede, they every time use the Stampede to just run away or run around aimlessly. They're gonna get Phoenix though. But suddenly BKB is off on cooldown now for Brave King. Can't do anything at all almost. Hits the back of the Bristleback, which does nothing. And there's the Heaven's Halberd as well. He can't even right-click anymore. Their soul damage dealer. Oh, he actually survives. Doesn't lose the reincarnation, although... How much time is it gonna buy them?
I actually don't know. I think this is the end of the road for 85Leela.
Well, they still have
this
reverse
still-
polarity. They are one man up. But wow, man. Clockwork has a Heart of Tarrasque now as well. Holy crap. Blink Hoofstomp catches too. That's their opening reverse polarity. They need the Torrent to follow up the Torrent. A little bit too late though. He's going for other heroes completely. He's going for Zephyr just to make sure there's no counter initiation. Hookshot into AMZ. Doesn't get the stun onto the enemy heroes. It's a 1-4-0 so far. AMC still alive. He's just backing off Spaceman. Getting chased down. They need X mark anything. There's the Blink Echo Slam. Not gonna do too much to Ocho Duai. He still has reincarnation as well because this fight has just gone on for so long and he didn't die to begin with. Spaceman, come on, are you gonna be fast enough? No, he's not. Neza. TP. Never mind, X mark spot will bring him back into the Torrent. And they've actually defended their second set of racks. Plus, they're gonna get 3 core kills, I think, if they can get the Clockwork at least. Oh,
Clockwork
nice
is
body
pretty
blocking
much-
of the hookshot range as well. A nice Fisher once again hookshotting into Mion. He's gonna get the kill. He's so tanky. But he will finally go down.
Oh, holy cow, look at this Wraith King, look at how much money he has. And that's a full Assault Korea has completed. And just now, if someone else can quickly make Vladimir's offering, so they have twice the amount of lifesteal and plus 10 armor to the entire team, might just keep everyone alive long enough, they turn around these crucial engagements.
Well, I guess it's not over yet. They still have a chance. I mean, reverse polarity was decent enough. The 2-man one. And Stampede and everything, they were using it defensively. Brave King got away with like 50 HP, maybe it was even less. But he didn't lose his reincarnation early on, went back to the fountain, reached up, then came back in. And they actually got the 3 core kills. I have to say I did not expect this to happen. But there's still a crap ton of gold on both the Bristleback and the Death Prophet to even get just another big item for themselves soon.
Yeah, just holding on to their lives, trying to turn the game around. Oh, come on. Let the fierce battles begin. Oh, this Wraith King definitely made up for like a lackluster start, starting to gain some additional items, standing the forefront in every single team fight, trying to bait out as much damage as he possibly can. And now the Centaur, he's about, let's see, about halfway to that Shivas. And if he can get the Shivas, he can just like start mitigating even more damage. And the Magnetar with the BKB, finally, he won't get screwed around too much, so he will be able to cast his reverse polarity, hopefully. And Gyrocopter, well, he's a pure support now. There's not much damage he brings to the table.
If they had the Gyro core at the moment, it would be so sick with the Empower as well as the Flak Cannon, but instead it's a Brave King. I guess if you can get the reverse polarity and the Empower, you can still cleave through.
Well, that might be something they can consider right now, right? Like, hey, we need something that can clear the creep wave into the late game. And Gyrocopter is someone who can do so, but we just need to give him the space. But is it a little bit too late? He is very, very far behind. Sitting on level 11. No BKB.
He's the bottom scraper.
And
well, looks like NXL, they are grouping up with the exception of Zephyr, who's coming in now as well with his own BKB, 4-staff Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. Unfortunately, Echo Slam not yet level 3. Not too sure if they're in theory even need it, if they're just going for the right things. Really, I think NXL just go for the objectives, go for the buildings, and don't chase for kills.
This is what I've actually been feeling since the beginning of the game. I felt like if the Gyrocopter was a core and they had...
Man.
Well, it's fine. We can talk about the game. I felt like if Gyrocopter was a core, they didn't have to go aggressive tri-lane. They could have farmed up really fast on the Gyro. And, I mean, Gyro, who would he be laning against? Against a Clockwork. That would be easy. I mean, one-on-one, Clockwork can't really deal against a Gyrocopter. You get anywhere near, he just turns a Rocket Barrage and like slams you to death. And this frees up a lot of space for the two supports. I mean, if it was a support Wraith King and Kunkka, to make the rotations happen. The two melee supports. But Wraith King is a reliable stun. You get close enough, you're bound to get the stun off. And that's gonna set up for a very easy torrent. Instead of say like you have a Gyrocopter roaming with a Kunkka, sure, that's a lot more potential damage that could be dealt. But the moment you start aiming that homing missile, the Death Prophet, he's just gonna run backwards. And I don't see how you're going to be able to gank well. So if they had switched things up, and right now they had the Gyrocopter as a late game core carry, heroes like Skywrath Mage, heroes like Earthshaker would just be stuck in the back and desperately looking for that opening, which is going to be extremely hard to find because this Wraith King is not going to care. He's just going to walk in, dies, slows everybody, sets up for the easiest combo of 85Leela's life.
I just can't do anything but agree with you there. It's their decision, and overall them just not getting really any farm in the first like 15 minutes maybe even. Their laning phase, they definitely applied some decent pressure across most lanes, but just applying pressure while not farming really doesn't accomplish anything by the end. So this pause, though he just ran or was running to the low ground, do you think he was just aiming to go for a blink initiation, or was it just some miss micro?
Not too sure. I don't... At this point, I don't really know.
The pauses really make me want to bang my head against the table.
I know, really right? But once again, we gotta appreciate that there are people making the effort to make these tournaments possible and happening. And which allows us to actually sit here and cast these games. And I mean, I've done a little bit of tournament organization before, and it's just so difficult. I mean, you got to put in so much effort, time. You got to contact all the teams, have everything set up on scene, and you're still gonna get criticized to death, pretty much, with like the slightest mistake. For example, your schedule screws up. For example, the brackets come out and suddenly there's something wrong and you gotta reshuffle the bracket and everyone's complaining because some people are already in game and they have to replay a game. And if they have won the first game and lost the second, that they would have felt like, hey, we should have advanced the next round, etc. There's just so much problems, you know.
I'm
And
not
I
arguing
guess
with you there. It's just the life of a tournament admin sucks. It's
yeah, but this is just something you have to deal with in LAN events as well. There's bound to be something that would go wrong, and I guess this time it's the lag. It's somewhat inevitable unless they
to be
play.
fair, the tournament overall, they've been almost spot on with their schedule. Of course, some games have been just so ridiculously long. They've allocated an hour and a half for pretty much every single best of one at the moment. Of course, just teams setting themselves up is like half an hour already, but usually the games have not started more than 30 minutes behind schedule. So for a LAN event, I think that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, it's amazing what they're doing here. So the push is gonna continue. Let's see what's happening.
Blink Hoofstomp, just as the exorcism came out, they need to burst down the Death Prophet. Can they do it? No, Ghost Ship. No, Yule's dodge. Easy peasy. Four catch. He goes in with the reverse polar. He only catches one though. It's just not good enough. And it's on the Clockwork as well. There's the Blink. Echo Slam Dome. Gonna get completely obliterated. Spaceman almost loses his life to the Brave King. A few more right clicks, but he can't stay on target anymore. And that's range racks down. Most likely melee racks as well. Magnus does somehow make it out. Spy back from the center, but they're just losing the objectives. They were so close to bringing down Spaceman, but Magnus, I'm not too sure if his blink there got disabled by something or he skewered in, but the cogs kind of pushed him back and reverse priority didn't catch Spaceman, but they get the hoof stomp. They need a little bit more, another Echo Slam. They are caught themselves now though. Nowhere to go, Force Step is there, but it just doesn't matter in the end. And look at Brave King, he's literally just getting kited. Nobody cares about the Brave King, they're just going for other kills.
Yeah, he doesn't have very much damage, and Wraith King dies for the first time, but he's been trying to whack people the whole time, and nobody cares, literally. And Spaceman, he's not quite done. He wants to chase down the Magnetar, but he gets stunned up by Wraith King, and here's a hook shot from downtown, and Nasa, he's trying to chase down Mion. Funny. Lots of exchanges, and Nasa, he gets stunned up, X-Mark the Spawn Torrent, but he doesn't really care. He has a heart of the Terras as well, and look at here what's happening. Oh, they're trying to kill AMZ, but AMZ gets force staffed out and skewered right back into the boat, and a beautiful Fissure separates the two on two different sides. Oh man, this Fissure, what a killer Fissure.
Zephyr overall has been a pretty beast Earthshaker. I do believe he... Wow. Okay. Breaking just obliterated him with a Mortal Strike. But this Earthshaker, he played up against Team Malaysia as well, Zephyr playing the Earthshaker. Although they lost, and of course up against Team Malaysia, you can't really expect most teams to win, at least not in the Southeast Asian scene. But he played a pretty good Earthshaker there as well, if memory serves. So, just his Fissures pretty much throughout the entire game have been spot on.
And another interesting thing that I've noted is, if we look at it, the two best split pushing, well, not split pushing, clearing creep wave heroes on the side of 85Leela are the two supports. What would you give to have farm of these two heroes, the Kunkka as well as the Gyrocopter, just to be able to push out? Oh man.
I would sacrifice the Magnus for it.
Yeah, the Magnus hasn't really been a factor, and oh, this isn't to criticize his playstyle or anything, but he does get countered pretty heavily by a Clockwork, and just the constant hesitation of whether or not to go in. And
It's also just Bristleback man-moding it in the front lines and just spamming the quill sprays, making it so that Magnus really can't find the proper angle even to initiate from.
Yeah, and Team NXL, they have been, what do you call it? They have been placing their positionings really well. You have, like you said, the Bristleback diving in front, forcing everyone else back. Earthshaker and Skyrath Mage and Clockwork are always very far in the back. And in the middle, you have the Death Prophet, who is also somewhat spread from the Bristleback. So if anything happens, if you do engage, the counter initiation will come at you hard and fast. And here's a Roshan that's almost gone. Are they gonna go for it? Let's see who gets the Roshan. Nobody has picked up the Aegis quite yet. The Bristleback, oh, Bristleback got it. And now we have an RP onto 3 heroes. It's beautiful. Everybody's in the pit. And they're trying to chase down Team NXL. Spaceman, he's extremely low, but his ultimate's flying, doing tons of damage. And here's a beautiful Echo Slam, and we have the Magnetar down. And the first life of the Wraith King is still here, and he's just chomping away, trying to chop at everyone, taking a jab. But it's not quite enough. He comes back with the second life. They stun up AMZ, and he's going on. Wraith King, suddenly, he's becoming a factor. He chops up the Skywrath Mage, but we have a buyback from Spaceman. Spaceman trying to chase down the Wraith King. He turns on the Blade Mail, turns around and fights AMZ face to face, but he's getting kited, and a beautiful Centaur. He stomps onto 2, but it gets fueled up in the air, and now we have a boxing ring right here, and there's no chance for the Wraith King second time around. Dome, can he escape this? His Blink Dagger, oh, it was only 1 second away from cooldown. Eats the Fisher, gets silenced up, gets taken down, gets dropped by the big totem of the Earthshaker.
This boxing ring wasn't fair at all. It wasn't even 1 versus 1. They were cheating really, NXL. But that fight, excellently taken. They got the Roshan, they got the Aegis as well. The last hit actually did go for 85, so AMC got the snatch of the Aegis. But still holds on to it as well. And Gyrocopter, he tried to go for a cooldown. He was around this area. And the cooldown actually just was out of range from the heroes that were reverse polarityed. A little bit unfortunate, couldn't get the most damage follow-up. They came close enough, at least they killed Spaceman, but now they're gonna lose their last set of racks most likely. Centaur doesn't have his buyback, no reverse polarity. I really see little chance of them to defend this. At least AMC is pretty low on mana on the Bristleback, so he can't spam out spells just forever.
Oh man. And now let's go on the tier 3 Raxes. The melee is about to go down.
Oh, the reverse polarity actually catches free. Ghost Ship to follow up as well. Beautiful combination. Finally they get all of their spells aligned. They need a little bit more though. They're gonna get the Clockwork as well. They need to keep on to the last set of racks. AMC brings down the range for Melee. Still standing. A nice 4-man silence from Spaceman. But his Exorcism still on cooldown. AMC, of course, he's gonna come back to life anyway. Oh, nice Shield Scepter. Still might get caught. Brayfire Blast waiting for him. Or is he? No! Abyssal Blade took Zephyr. 1.2k crit from the Wraith King. Stampede not gonna chase down Spaceman anymore. They're going for AMC, never mind. They're gonna back off because look at the Ancient. Just all the mega creeps coming from the side lanes.
Yeah, and to be honest, Team NXL, they could have played that way better. They could have been patient. Wait for the top lane and the bottom lane to just push in by themselves. And allow those creep wave to go directly for the throne. Forcing 85Leela to go back and defend those 2 lanes. And then move in. And whenever they come back to defend mid, you just back out. You play the tug of war. Like, the moment they pull, you just let them pull a little bit. And then you just pull them straight back to where you want it.
Oh god, 50 minutes in. This game should have been over so long ago, to be honest. But 85Leela, they're hanging on. This reverse party was pretty good, but oh, they get the stun onto AMG. Bad target to go for. At least Ojo Duay, he got to hit into the face of the Bristleback and forced the PKB out as well. NXL, of course, without 5 of them being there, there's really no need to go and force the issue. And one thing that also the viewers pointed out, all the tier 1 towers are still standing for the Radiant side. 51 minutes in, it's almost unheard of.
It's about to change. This tier 1's going down.
Oh, the Glyph though! They're actually gonna defend. Clockwork, TP's in as well. Can he get the hook shot? I think... Actually, wow, that was so obvious that it's into the creeps. I'm not even too sure why he went for it. Would have liked to see him 4-staff and then hook shot. Just get the right angle. In the end...
Well, he wanted to farm.
Oh, his own creeps?
Well, maybe he thought... Never mind, you know, I got nothing better to say. Try to defend him.
You got denied, but Exorcism, they get, never mind, no stun, BKB is there from Spaceman, should be easy racks, cooldown is there, but just focus on the objectives. Another hook shot into Dome this time around. Spaceman though, gonna get the pistol bladed, the lifesteal from Wraith King, finally the Heaven's Helper comes out, no BKB anymore as well. He can't really dish out the damage, and this is mega creeps. They can still hold on for a little while. Spaceman gonna get stunned up. Come on, where's the crit? Wraith King, he gets it as well. There is the kill, and in the meantime, AMZ together with Zephyr, they're gonna go for 4 kites. There's the reverse polarity. Unfortunately, this keyword already in cooldown, can't get them back to base. They still get the 1 kill. Can they just go for counterattacks? I mean, their profit is down without the buyback. If they can get a few more, actually all the 3 heroes are down without buyback. Can they get AMC now as well? If they actually do this, if they can go counter base, which I highly doubt, another hookshot into Portage, they get the kill. Clockwork, they're just all so tanky. They have 3 Heart of the Racks on their team. Finally, 1 goes down. They need to get more though. Oja, he has the blink still. The Ancient, guys.
He does nothing.
They need the
Look at the Wraith King. He doesn't even care about his teammate.
Oh, AMG he was running circles around Dome on the center. Finally goes down. Still, it's gonna take all they have to just prevent the creeps from hitting the Ancient. If they had the Empower from the Magnus, I think Brave King should be able to clear off the creeps pretty fast, but they don't. But Empower Divine Rapier and just last try.
Oh, please let us see the divine. Oh no, he has 2 more glaive throwers. They're chipping away at the throne.
No.
It's
Somebody
going down.
defend.
There's only 200 HP left,
GG.
and it might just be over. This is GG. They don't have enough time. Oh, stats. 60 HP. The power of the Cardis.
Man, AC helping out as well, man. AC. Where is Living Armor when you need it?
Living armor. My goodness. This is pretty funny.
This is madness, man.
This is just tower defense. You see, at this point, oh, the Earthshaker! Oh, he's gonna go for it. One more right click, and he gets it. That was so dirty. That was dirty to the max. He just wanted it to end. He had enough of this game, and he went for it, and he got it.
If I was them, I would have had enough as well, to be honest. They had a lead for such a long time, and it was really a matter of just signing the contract to finish it up. But in any case, guys, this best of 1 made it so that now Team NXL are number 2 to advance from Group B, which of course means that they will get to face First Departure in about 30 minutes probably. It's gonna take, I think, 20 to 30 minutes for First Departure to set themselves up at the PCs. And the next one, First Departure versus Team NXL, will be the last game of the evening as well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching us so far. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a follow as well to support us on this channel as well as social media. All the necessary links are below the stream on Twitch anyway. And of course, if you like the casters, you can follow us. It's at Coucher for me on both Twitch, Twitter. On Facebook, you can find me under Coucher as well, I think. And Mito, where can people find you?
Well, that's an awkward thing because I spend most of my time doing Chinese casting these days, and well, my English is really rusty, and I guess it's just better for people to find you instead. Since I'm
just follow HeflaTV overall.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're gonna find us because that's pretty much the only place we're casting anyway. So guys, this is it for this best of 1. One more best of 1 coming out. First Departure versus Team NXL in the first semi-final for the playoffs. So guys, just stick around. In another 20 to 30 minutes, we're gonna have the last game of the evening.